Welcome back to another episode of Cinema d'Amore. I'm your host, Chuck, joined by...
I'm his co-host, Justin.
This week we're getting out of South Korea, moving a little further away. Yeah. moving on down the line in Asia, going to Japan for Empire of Passion. Do you know how this connects? You have a wild guess? I feel like this is another case. I feel like this, going from City of Violence to Decision to Leave to this, the same way, there's like a lot of things that very much overlap.
I mean, the relation aspect that's tied to murder, but that's general. There's also the connection between the fact that there is the murder.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, you could just say that. It's, I mean, more specifically, it was, you know, the wife that murders her husband and then has to cover it up.
And she doesn't do a great job.
I mean, they go for a good while. I feel like, you know, this was back in the 1800s, I think, is the general time setting when people could disappear for 3 years without anyone really making that big of a deal about it.
I don't even know if they would make a big deal about it. I feel even then there has to be a cop that says,
I mean,
don't have time for this.
There's no, this movie doesn't give you all the details of everything. You know, it starts out, woman murders her husband with her lover. They get a plan together, and they strangle him, throw him in a well. And yeah, he's gone for 3 years. And even then, that cop never really explains why he decided to come there. Like, he never says, like, I knew this area, or this is my old village. Like, he doesn't just randomly show up one day and just be like, hey, what happened to that rickshaw driver?
Missing.
Yeah, it's very vague. I guess the implication is that the daughter must have said something. He never says that in the movie, but I guess that has to be where it comes from, is that the daughter must have said something, because she says that she has dreams of her dad being dead, and she's always questioning the mother on, like, how come she never brings up her dad and never tells her where he's at. It's always just, I don't know, he's working in Tokyo, but never says, like, what he does, or he never explains how he never sends them any money. He's never come back. So I guess she must have said something.
Driver, so I wouldn't imagine he would be rich, although his place seems pretty decent.
Yeah. I mean, he was the only rickshaw driver in the village, it seems like. And yeah, they apparently for 3 years they just didn't have a rickshaw driver there. Everyone just had to walk everywhere by themselves.
I mean, with those roads, I don't know if I would want to be the rickshaw driver. It looked rough.
Looks a little treacherous there.
I mean, the whole town probably helped build everybody's homes and everything. I mean, there's a scene where there's a fire and the whole town comes to more or less help. So, like, the whole town's like, yeah, we're all the firefighters. We are building each other's homes. It's just this big communal space. I don't even remember. I feel like it doesn't say where it is. It's just like a small town in Japan. It's just
like a small village in Japan, yeah. It's not Tokyo. That's the only thing we know for sure, because Tokyo's the only place they mention specifically. I think they mention, like, what mountain they're on at some point in the movie. That would probably, if you're knowledgeable on Japanese geography, that would probably narrow down where this has happened. Yeah, I don't think they actually say the village that they're at. They just say the mountain that they're.
I mean, and it's quite possible that the names have changed. I mean, I don't think Tokyo was.
That's always a possibility.
Wait, it was 1895. Okay, well, that makes... It was there then. It seems like this would be much further back, because they're still pretty, behind in, obviously, modern technology, but they're just...
Yeah, on the cusp. I mean, I think it's just because they're in rural towns, that they don't have anything. But yeah, this is an interesting way they play this, too, I feel like this almost rarely ever happens where the husband is not a bad guy. Almost every single one of these movies, when it's obviously in our last movie that we talked about, it's that the husbands are terrible people and they deserve to die, and you're, like, glad when they're dead. It's like the exact opposite. Like, we don't get the husband for very much, but he seems like he's just generally a hardworking guy, he doesn't like yell at his wife. He just comes home and is like, "Oh, I want some shoju. Can you get me some?" And she runs to the local guy, but he doesn't like yell at her or anything or do anything abusive. So it's kind of she just kills him because she falls for the younger guy.
I mean, the setup's a little bit weird. I feel like, I mean, I wasn't watching the time, but the murder is maybe 20, 30 minutes into the movie. And the beginning of it is kind of like how this relationship starts, where the husband even says, "Hey, this younger guy seems to be interested in you. I think it's more than just being friendly." And she seems oblivious to that. And at first, when he's bringing it up, but then when the guy does stop over and they're having a conversation, she's like, "Oh shit, it's real." And it's feels like rape. It feels like a rape scene.
A little bit.
She's pretty much saying, "No, don't. I'm a married woman and get off of me." And, it happens anyways. So I would classify that as rape. But then the guy's like, if we're going to keep this up, we're going to have to murder your husband.
Yeah,
And she
gotta
just
get him
kind of
out of the
goes
way.
along with it. She doesn't really seem to hate her husband either. It's just sort of, you're right. He's going to have to go. But yeah, I guess I said to you too when I was after I watched the movie, I wasn't expecting such an erotic movie from you.
It's a great movie. It's this and the director Oshima, his previous film In the Realm of Senses, is even
I've seen In the
more.
Realm of Senses. I've actually seen a couple of his movies, but I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. I hadn't seen this one.
Those are his two main ones. I think this and In the Realm of Senses. I know in the I think the French release or the European release, they like tried to make this. It's not like not a sequel, but they made it seem like because I think they retitled it as like In the Realm of
Of
Passion
course.
or something like that. So it puts them together as two movies, which I mean they have similar plot lines in them. They're both about erotic death, uh, but this one's obviously much more of a. It is pretty much a straight up ghost story for the runtime. Yeah, the husband gets killed very early in the film, and then the remaining hour and 20 minutes is them being haunted by his dead spirit the entire time, and then the whole town,
Yeah.
the whole village being haunted by his ghost. Uh,
I
he
think that
shows
that
up.
that is really funny to me. It almost makes me think of the short story from New York Stories that Woody Allen does, where like his mom disappears and then she's
Yeah,
in the sky
she's
like
just in the
talking to
sky yelling
everybody.
at him all day. Yeah,
Yeah, and like really getting to know like everybody in the entire city. That's what reminds me of, because like there's one scene where they're picking food or something, some sort of I don't know. It looks like grass. I have no idea. I
I
don't know
guess
my
so.
agriculture. Wheat. So they're picking the wheat, and they're having it's just like these three women, and they're having a conversation like that goddamn ghost. They're like, I know, I saw the ghost too. And I was like, I really like this scene of just the village complaining about the ghost. Like, did you see the ghost? Yeah, she clearly killed him. He's in the well or something. We got to figure out which well what well that he was put in. Yeah, and then even like, yeah, they dispose the body. It's winter when they dispose the body. I really love the shot of the well. Uh, I don't know. It just looked atmospheric and cool. And
Yeah,
then
it's always foggy around it.
yeah, then they start dropping the leaves, and I kind of do like the idea of the leaves of, eventually they're they're going to be buried more or less. I mean, I don't think everyone would be able to smell that there was something dying or dead around the area. But apparently there's a lot of wells, so they're not really sure how to pinpoint exactly which well. And they're like, I do like some of the villagers where the one guy is like checking out the well, and the lovers like watching, and he's like, "Hey, have you been the one telling people that rumor about the well? About me dropping a body down a well? And the guy's like, no. What does he say? Like, he pressures him a little bit. He's like, well, did you tell the cops about it? And he's like, yeah. And he just like starts to strangle him. And then the scene like just cuts, which kind of makes it more comical. I felt. But yeah, he does. The dude just keeps showing up, the ghost, and he's miserable. It's sort
Yeah,
of like,
sometimes he just wants some food. That's got to be like the at one point he just goes back to doing his job. He's just driving the rickshaw and picks up his wife. He's like, don't you want to ride? It's a long way back home, and then but then
mm-hmm,
just goes everywhere else other than taking her home. Yeah. Yeah, I feel
mm-hmm.
like they don't do a good job of hiding their affair. There's like multiple times they're like, we can't be seen together, but they seem like they're just in broad daylight in like the middle of town, like where anybody could see them, and they'll be there for like 5 minutes being like, we can't be seen like this.
And it's also a small town too, so I feel like they would have a hard time hiding it. So I don't think they're necessarily bad at hiding it. It's just sort of like, how the fuck could you? It gets to the point where like the dude probably like generally walks in that direction. And they're like, what the fuck's going on? He's clearly going over to her house. But yeah, they know the detective's looking in the well and the guy's tipping off people to the well. They're like, we're gonna have to fucking move this body. And they go down in the well and it's like, I don't know, I believe.
Sand, mud.
Yeah, and there's one shot that like it did make me laugh, which I would still say overall everything in this movie looks really good. But one of the first like things of mud that the guy throws, like I don't understand where they're even trying. It's like soup, like chunky soup. So whenever they have a shovel or whatever, but when they're digging, they're like not really throwing it anywhere. It's like counterproductive of them even being able to dig. But the very first chunk of crap that the guy throws, he throws it into the wall, and it's like like a paper mache wall. The whole wall like moves, but they kept it. I don't know why. They were just sort of like, it's the best take
Because
that
that
we
was
have.
expensive, man. That was expensive. They couldn't rebuild that and fix it.
It didn't look broken. It just looked like, like that scene in Batman Returns where Penguin like bumps the tombstone and it like moves way too much. Looks real, looks realistic. The painters and everybody did a really good job, but yeah. And then, oh yeah, we didn't even talk about like all the crazy shit that happens when down there when the ghost appears, and then he starts throwing he starts throwing shit down the well. I'm assuming it's weed again. I don't fucking know what he's got. And like that one grotesque shot that it has, which would like match almost any horror movie, would gross people out, where the wheat stalks like stab the woman
Stabs
in
her in
her
the eye.
eyes. Yeah. And then they get out of the well, they go back, they're all covered in gunk, and her lover's basically like, we gotta fuck. And she's like, I'm blind. He's like,
That's
it's
his
it's
solution for most things.
yeah, it's gonna happen anyways. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, that's all that we've got.
Yeah, he says after this he's gonna give himself up, and he's like, you just have to say you didn't have anything to do with it, and I'll just take all the blame.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that is one thing that they do a lot. They kind of fight about. It's kind of different than most movies where they're trying to cover up a murder and there's like a squabble between the two people. These two lovers are gonna take the blame. No, I'll take the blame. No, it's gonna be me. No, you'll be locked up forever. It's gotta be me. So it also has that kind of like courageousness to it that they would take that choice, but
Yeah, I mean they kind of like give up on uh, they give up on everything other than each other. It's like the woman completely uh I mean basically abandons her family. Like she kills the husband. Uh, doesn't seem to care about her son very much. There's just large chunks of the movie where I'm just like, that kid's just like by himself somewhere, like, not being supervised at all. The daughter, I know they
Where's
say earlier, like the
where's
daughter was
dad?
sent
Shut up
away.
about dad.
But yeah, the daughter was sent away to be like a maid somewhere, and she's like, eventually she's like, I'm leaving and I'll never come back because, yeah, the daughter's like, I know you killed dad, or you know something about it, and yeah, just pretty much just gives up on her family. Like I said, by the end, that kid's like not even mentioned at all. Every once in a while, he'll just be in the background, and he'll be like, "That's right, she does still have a son, but she doesn't take care of him at all."
And I will say for like the erotic nature of it too, in a 1978 movie, you're not watching a dude go down on a woman very often, and it was like that was like almost all the scenes.
I mean, that's why he had to make her shave it.
He did. He That's actually uh a very interesting
Whole
scene.
scene for that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He's like, I got the rock. You ready? And then when they're trying to get their confessions, when they've more, I'll call it arrested them. It does also remind me a little bit of Decision to Leave, when that like comical scene that you said where they climbed up the mountain and the guy was just dangling there. I didn't expect them to be dangling from ropes where they were being like
Hanging from a tree like
being
pinatas.
beat with sticks and stuff to like confess. I mean, it does. I don't know if it's yeah, it must be the ghost aspect of it too, but it does play like a fable of sorts. It feels like it would be like a Greek myth of some sort if it kind of follows that sort of pattern.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Japanese do ghost stories very well, better than a lot of other places. I mean, we've talked about a ton of them in our other episodes. Between this, Onibaba's a great one.
Yeah, and they seem to be like they have a strong moral subtext to it, because whenever you watch anything else like from America or the UK, all those ghost stories tend to be like maybe somebody was wronged, but for the most part, it's pretty simple. Like, this ghost just wants revenge. And there's no, it'll kill anybody. Just don't go in that house. It's going to kill you.
I mean, this one, even like how you're saying, yeah, the ghost doesn't even seem to want revenge because he brings up Toyoji, the lover. He's like, obviously, your husband doesn't want you to go. He doesn't want us to be arrested for the crime because he never says like you. Yeah, in any other ghost story, he'd be like, my wife killed me. You have to get my wife, and like they're like he appears to people and like eh, in their dreams, or they see him on the side of the road, but he never says like that his wife killed him. So it's like he's still protecting her, even though she was the one that killed him. He still doesn't want her
Right.
to be punished for it somehow.
Unspoken role that they can't say what killed them, because that would be simple. If you got murdered, I mean, that's the realistic aspect of it, is once you're dead, the crime scene has to speak for itself. You can't just appear and be like, that fucker right there killed me, and I want you to arrest them. It's not like, hey, you're not a person anymore, so it won't hold up in court. But no one's going to believe this. Also, the town is very casual for having a ghost, but I also feel like it's strange because I don't feel like they might not have murdered that guy if they knew ghosts were a possibility.
They weren't prepared for it.
They're like, fuck, he became a ghost. Ah, there was a 50-50 shot of that happening. Now what do we
Yeah,
do?
there was always a possibility.
Oh, man. But yeah, it felt modern in like it's the love affair aspect of it. It felt traditional without being shot too crazily, except for, I mean, honestly, yeah, anytime that the ghost did show up and he was just like, there was that one scene when he showed up to where the lover was, and I thought that the lover was going to like throw a rock at him. But then I thought, I don't know, this movie doesn't seem to have the money to make the ghost transparent or have that go through him. So
He's just a dude painted white.
yeah, I mean, there's even one shot of him. I can't remember when it happens because he just looks like himself for most of the movie. But they do a close up and they gave him like crazy ass contacts where like his eyes look like they're rotten out of his head.
Yeah,
Like actually looks very scary. So that they must have had an expert for makeup with eyes. Like whoever the hell was doing the contact, somebody had access to some contact lenses, and they're like, shit, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the only time the movie gets bloody too. It's not like a gory movie or anything. But then his face like turns into like a faceless mask, and she smashes the bottle over his head, and then there's just blood starts going everywhere.
Yeah.
And she wakes up in her house, and there's just glass. She's all cut up on the glass, and then the daughter steps on it, and everyone just starts bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, I also do like some of the like where the town comes together. I don't know what the hell it is. It's like a restaurant of some sort or a hangout spot, and they're all drinking their sake, and the dude comes in with his damn like I don't know 60-gallon jug, and the woman's just like keeps pouring like little tiny 6-ounce things of
Yeah,
sake in his bottle. I'm like, you are never gonna fill that up. And then they had like I don't know the village idiot character, the character that was like had mental issues.
yeah. His
Uh,
brother, yeah. It's just unexplained. It's just like his brother is just his brother's just crazy.
I mean there is that one shot too where don't they like discover a body? He discovers a body or something,
Yeah.
and he's screaming, and the whole town's following. I'm like, they're taking him very seriously. They're like, he's gonna show us something. We better follow him. And they all go out there, and that body's there. Oh yeah, it's the dude that he choked out. So
Yeah. That he's like trying to like frame him for the murder.
yeah.
Yeah, everything about this movie is very serious other than the cop, which I don't know why that just always stands out to me. The cop is like comic relief in pretty much like every scene he's in somehow. Like he's always his sword always like hangs too loose, so it's always like smacking him in the back of the leg, and it seems like it's annoying him. Then he's like doing his stakeout where he's under her house getting bit by mosquitoes under there the entire time, and then
Oh yeah, the
like
under the house crawl space is good.
smacks his head on like the floorboards. And they're like, who's there? Somebody's hanging out here.
Yeah, that was funny when he goes underneath their house. The crawl space is huge. Like it's like half the size of their ceiling. Like how tall their ceiling is, it's like half of that. And he's down there breaking cobwebs and shit and making evidence that he was down there. And it is really funny because I know it's for the audience, but when they're talking, they're just having a discussion. He's like, "You fuckers better confess. Just confess."
Yeah,
And they
he's
get
like,
like
I
really,
got you now.
yeah. But he's saying it all out loud. He's like, "You
Yeah.
motherfuckers, I got you." Yeah. Then he bonks his head, like you said, and they're like, they think someone's outside at first, not underneath them. But the lover eventually figures out, like when he's crawling around on there, he's like, "This cobweb's broken, son of a bitch. Somebody was here." What
That's how they get caught.
what is an empire of passion to you? Word vomit? Does it mean anything in this movie?
I mean, like I said, I think it's just meant to be just the two of them. They're kind of as we said throughout this whole episode. This subverts a lot of elements from other movies that you would see that are the same thing. You know, they're it starts out again, yeah, seemingly very coerced from one character, from Toyoji, the guy, but then they do somehow fall in love, and they're pretty much not willing to give that up. And that, yeah, the fact that they'll both take blame for it. And at the very end, when they're hanging from the trees, you get told that it takes like hours before they'll finally confess. Both of them keep saying they were the only ones that did it, that nobody else was involved, and they have to beat them for hours before they'll finally admit it, and then they bring the body up from the well. Yeah, they're just in their own. That's their own world that they're in. I do I do really love the final closing narration, which is great because again, this is like They don't really tell you all the details about the town, and it just seems like how everyone just goes back to going about their day when it's like it mentions
Yeah, like it's
there's
just
two
somebody
people
being like, "That's
that they don't even
crazy."
remember. Yeah, it's like all the people in the village talked about how there was two people that they couldn't even remember anymore, and it turns out they got executed today.
That's crazy. Remember that ghost that was around town? Maybe it has like a supernatural element to it when there's a ghost involved. When the ghost's murder gets resolved and they can rest in peace, that everyone in the town starts to forget. Has kind of a Pennywise thing,
It's
every
just a
once
bad dream.
yeah, once he's gone, everyone just kind of forgets about it. They can't remember it. There's like some sort of something blocking it. I mean, it could be bad writing, but or if you're imaginative, you could just think it's something like that. But yeah, that's really good. I actually I watched it on the Criterion channel, and I did want to watch the extra. I didn't watch it, but there was an extra on there for it was like 2 minutes of Michael Cera talking about how much he loves this movie.
I'm gonna have to look that up now. I've never watched that. That might be. I own this on DVD. That's how I watched it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming maybe Michael Cera either he's only on the Criterion channel or maybe he's on a 4K if they've done a 4K of this.
I don't think they have, but Criterion has a segment for their channel that is actors on movies. And I think what they'll do is, like, in this case, Michael Cera must have picked maybe like 6 or 7 movies that he enjoys from the Criterion collection. And he talks about each one of them for maybe like 2-3 minutes. So this is something that he personally would have picked to be a part of that. But when I searched the movie, that's when it came up as like, do you want to watch the movie or do you want to watch what Michael Cera has to say about the movie?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to look up and find out what Michael Cera has to say about this movie.
But yeah, they have a bunch of other actors and stuff. Like I think Bill Hader's on there, and he picks his whatever his movies are, but it's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's just what they like about the movie. I don't know what they consider it a collection, but yeah, you could watch it that way, where you can be like, I want to know what this specific actor, director, or whatever, what movies they picked and what they have to say about them. And I don't know, it could pique your interest and stuff. I'm surprised I haven't watched this sooner, or I haven't really even heard of it. I didn't even know it was on the channel, to be honest with you. Yeah, when I looked it up, it was like, it's a Criterion DVD, and I was like, huh. I mean, even when I saw the image, I couldn't tell that it was like the inside of a well. Like it just kind of had like a weird, it just looked like a weird shape. You had to like look at it to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, this one never got. I don't think it never went out of print either. It just never got updated. Like it never got a Blu-ray release. It never got a 4K. But I like I said, I don't even think it ever went out of print or anything. It's still always been available, but it's just one that they don't. I don't know. Don't do anything with. Oh, well,
Yeah, maybe
my
they can't
mistake.
put.
It is out of print.
Oh, there you go.
The listing made it seem like it was not out of print because like when you look up the movie it goes go to criterion.com and buy for
Yeah.
$29.95 and I'm like, oh, it's still in print. And I looked it up and it's like, nope, it's out of print. So I think
Maybe.
that was probably why I bought it. I probably bought it when it was like when they did like a they used to be like very transparent on like these movies are all going out of print soon, you should buy them. Now they don't, no one does that as much. But
You probably see it too. Well, you're right about that. I think I only remember one time or twice years ago. I think they only had DVD. I don't even remember if Blu-ray was around. And it was always like, here's 20 titles that are going to go out of print. Get them while you
yeah,
can.
you better
And
buy
now
them
they
all
don't
now.
do, then they stopped doing that. Like there's a couple Blu-rays I have where like The Third Man, where it just fucking it came out and a month later was out of print. I'm like, what the hell happened? That they didn't announce it or anything. It was just so random. Like, did they get a cease and desist? Like, you can't actually have this movie. And they're like, oh, fuck. But
That's like the weird thing too, because yeah, this movie. I mean, obviously they have it on their channel, but it's not available to buy like anywhere else as even a new copy. like anywhere. Like it's just not a release. So it went out of print at some point and then has just never been released
No
again
Kino,
for anything.
Flubber.
Now there's nothing. There's like no other
Wow.
versions. There's one random like region 2 version, but it's it looks like a cheap knockoff version. It doesn't even look like a real thing. So it's like,
It
yeah, I
not
don't know how their rights work. I don't know how the rights work where it's just stuff goes out of print and I'm like, okay, it went out of print, but like then nobody else picked it up. So like why haven't they just like repurchased the rights? Because they still have the rights to a bunch of his other movies.
or they did purchase it. They're working on something.
Yeah, I mean, for all I know, yeah, maybe it'll be they only update like one or two new movies to 4K or something
It's like
every
3
month or
movies
something
now.
like that. So
You get the new
yeah, who knows? It
releases, and
could.
there's really like 3 new releases and 3 things that they upgraded. But they did say today, well, the day that we're recording this, the Eclipse series that they had that was only DVDs, and I don't think they have a lot of features. Maybe they can't make that shit up. They don't have anything. They said they're bringing the Eclipse series back, and they're upgrading them so they'll be Blu-ray releases. So, I mean, that'll actually be kind of nice for some of the more obscure things. So maybe it winds up on something like that. I don't know how it works once they release. I don't even know if an Eclipse thing made it to the main Criterion collection or vice versa. I mean, usually what they'll do is once they get a couple releases from a director, they release some sort of bigger set with them all together. But thankfully, they're not assholes about it, and it's like not the only way you can do it. Like they have that Wes Anderson set coming out, which adds The French Dispatch and Isle of Dogs. But they're like, but don't worry, you can get those 2 movies individually if you want. We are not fucking you over.
Not this
But
time,
yeah,
at least.
a lot of cool shit on the Criterion channel. Get some recommendations from Michael Cera.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe if Michael Cera brought it up, maybe that's what's going to get that 4K or Blu-ray release.
You know,
Maybe if they're like, oh god, Michael Cera wants this movie, we probably should make it happen.
I didn't foresee our conversation even going to Michael Cera, but had I would have probably looked it up to be like, what are the other movies that he's pitching, like his must-sees? I wonder if I could quickly look it up. I think it should be a part of the episode, if I can find it. Let me see here. I'll either cut out all my typing or not. This is his closet of adventures and movie going. Okay, I got the list. High and Low, Akira Kurosawa, A Married Couple, Alan King, Scenes from a Marriage, Ingmar Bergman, Fox and His Friends, Fassbender, Empire of Passion, The Green Ray, Romer, Where is the Friend's House? I should know this name. Kiarostami, and The Castle by Haneke. That's the Michael Cera picks. I do like, though, when he was in the closet, he grabbed the Tati set and Wall-E. He's like, hell yeah, Wall-E. But there you go. All right, sir. I think I know what my movie is, but I will tell you after the episode.
You gotta tell me after.
All right. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
I think we covered it all. A good movie. You gotta watch it.
It is a good movie. Criterion Channel. Check it out.
Yeah.
It'll probably be like taken off by the time this episode
Yeah,
comes out.
immediately.
They're like, we're still paying for that? Get rid of it. I mean, they do have random things on there where it's like a 3-month window you have before it leaves. And they do a good job of telling you when things are going to leave. But then there's some things I think like this that just sit there indefinitely. Like they're not They either have it really cheap, or maybe somebody just said, fuck it, I don't care, put my movie on there. Just keep it on there. I don't care if I'm making any money.
You have it forever.
Yeah, just put it on there forever. I don't give a shit. All right. Peace, everybody. Thanks for listening. We are Cinema d'Amore. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with news and information on upcoming episodes. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora, Alexa, or iHeartRadio. It would be greatly appreciated if you subscribe to our podcast on your platform of choice. We also appreciate feedback, so rate us, review us, and let us know what you think. And above all else, thank you for listening.